Okay, so this right here is my working prototype for a machine that randomly generates fireworks. It's not perfect. It still has a few issues that could be worked out, but it is mostly working, and I haven't had any issues with this design. So every time you press the button, it will craft 3 fireworks with any assortment of random colors and effects. It can include the twinkle and the trail effect, and also a large ball. It does not actually include the mob heads or the feather or the gold nugget for like the different shapes of the explosion. That is something that could be added in. I had played around with that with a friend of mine. Shout out to BoxerBoy17, by the way. He helped out quite a bit with this. I decided to leave that out. It was too complicated for me. I'm not a pro with redstone or anything. But yeah, let's. I'm going to show you guys kind of what I have here to make this work. So the current input is a button, but you can attach this to a looping clock to produce fireworks every, I don't know, 10 seconds or so. It couldn't be a fast clock because it could break. But yeah. Anyways, so you push the button, and the first thing this is going to do is going to send redstone up here. Now, fireworks, to make the actual fireworks star, it requires gunpowder, so it will activate this dropper, and that is going to always, 100% of the time, shoot gunpowder into this stream, and it's going to go this way. Now, these 3 things here, it is set up to a randomizer, so it will activate from here, and it's a 50% chance. So each of these 3 items has a 50% chance of making its way into the firework. As you can see, there's a storage space for every item. So if you build this in survival mode, you will have a pretty good bit of storage, and I'm sure you could easily connect other forms of storage to have more. And of course, the probabilities can also be changed to whatever you want. You can make it a higher or lower chance. However, if you have too many items going into this thing, it can jam up the machine. So I tried to make it to where that doesn't happen, and I think I have it set to probabilities that keeps that from ever happening. So this, well, you know what? I'm not going to go into the details of the firework. These 8 here control the colors. So each color has a 1 in 4 chance of being selected. If the netherite sword or any non-stackable item goes through here, it will dispense that color. So you can get any assortment of colors, 1 in 4 chance for each one, and that will also go this way, and they will all end up in this hopper. So those items go down into this crafter here, and they will sort of just end up here. And then that happens before this repeater chain here activates. When it gets to this, it will activate, and it will shoot the fireworks star into this hopper. And then it will split off over here, and it also sends a redstone line here to activate this, and that will create the firework. Now, for the actual rocket itself, this redstone loops around all the way this way, and it will get to this. It will always dispense 1 gunpowder from here and 1 piece of paper from here to make a minimum firework of a flight duration of 1. And then each of these 2 gunpowders will again have a 50% chance a piece of going in. So it can make duration 1, and you could also get duration 2 and 3s, but you are always guaranteed to get at least 1, obviously, because then you wouldn't be able to make the firework. So those will go into this water stream, and they will go down here, and they will meet the firework star in this crafter. So by the time this redstone is activated and triggers this crafter, you have you have the star and the other ingredients in here ready to produce the firework. And that's the basic gist of this machine. It works great. I've tested it a lot. Again, like I said before, I'm not a mastermind with redstone or anything. I'm sure a genius could easily compress like all of this down and make like a hopper clock, timer, whatever. But this way, I was easily able to adjust the time as well and get it to where it's making fireworks at a reasonable speed and not taking too long. So I think what I want to try to do real quick, I want to try to show you guys a little bit, see if I can actually catch this in action. Let's see, that should do the trick, I hope. Get the button. So as far as I'm aware, I have not been able to find any tutorial for such a machine, so I think this is going to be the first one, and I kind of see why, because it's a little bit of a big machine. And again, I omitted a few of the ingredients, such as like the wither skulls, the golden nuggets, and the feathers, because the thing with those is you can only have either one of those at a time, or there's fire charge. You can't have multiple, so it was a complicated machine to set up, and it's doable. It's just unnecessary for my own personal purposes for this thing. I will never ever put a wither skull to make a firework. That's just ridiculous. But let's see if we can see this thing in action. So it activates, all the ingredients go in, and it will produce the firework down here, and it will send them off to the output channel. And then you have a randomized firework every single time with any number of colors up to 8. I think it can go up to 8 colors. If it chooses more than 8, it can clog up the machine, which I haven't had happen yet. The odds of that are pretty low. Yeah, see, the crafter is empty. Let me actually put a button here as well, so you can see the ingredients come in. You have the gunpowder and the colors, and any sort of modifiers that go through, and then it, of course, makes the firework. And these ones are flight duration 3, small explosion. Totally different than the other ones, of course. So let's see if we can get this thing in action just for the viewing value of it. So a flight duration of 3, and then we're waiting on the star. The star comes in just in time, and it makes the firework. As you can see, randomized fireworks. Flight duration 3, magenta and green. Small ball. So, again, this is a working prototype, but there are issues. One of the issues that you may have with this thing that I still need to iron out, and hopefully somebody actually can figure this out as well. If you generate a firework and it just so happens that it does not select any color at all, the gunpowder and any other modifiers will jam this up. They will sit here and it will not craft a firework star. So you will end up with dead firework rockets and extra ingredients in here that can back up your machine. Also, the vice versa of that, this thing might select too many colors, and it will back up extra colors and items into this hopper. I have it set up to where you are pretty much guaranteed to get the gunpowder in there at minimum, so it should still craft a star. But after it crafts that star, you will end up with extra dyes and other ingredients left over in here. If that happens, it should correct itself during the next operation of the machine, but there is the slight chance that it does not. And then that would be bad because it would break the machine. Other than that, this thing works almost 100% of the time. I haven't had any issues with it yet. So, yeah, we got a few items. Boom, crafts the fireworks. Very reliable. If it did jam up, you would have to go in. Oh, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about right there. It didn't even put the... yeah, it didn't even put the star in it. So we can fix that, actually, by adding one more. Oh, where's my pick block? There it is. We can add an extra repeater in there. So yeah, that's a good demonstration that it does have its issues, but overall, still working it out. It works pretty good. Yeah, I think that should work. And you can always change the delays and the probabilities for certain items in this. So that only gave us one color, actually. So that's just, you know, a generic firework. But it is a large explosion because of the fire charge. Gonna do a couple more operations of this thing, just so we could see what kind of cool fireworks it makes. Yep, so that chose exactly 7 colors, I think. So this is a loaded firework. That's a large ball, red, pink, brown, black, blue, green, and trail. So that is a pretty cool firework. Very, very cool. Okay, a couple more. So that one's loaded. I would like for it to have extra colors so we can demonstrate how that happens. All right, we'll do 2 more. We'll craft them back to back. Okay, that's a light firework. So I plan on building this in a survival world that I'm playing on. And when I build it, I will have some sort of like toggle to where you can leave this thing running constantly until it runs out of items to actually input. However, I would very much like to, I can't control my keyboard anywhere. I would like to iron out all the little issues and get this thing working at 100% before I do that. But I would very much like to get this working prototype out there to the community, so anybody who has any ideas or improvements for this thing, they can add to it. I do not have a block-by-block tutorial. I may or may not make one. It really depends. I tried, as you can see over there, I tried to make this thing a few different times in a few different ways. This is the latest one, and it's so far the one that's working the best, and it's compressed down as much as I personally can get it compressed down, because I'm a noob, of course. But a redstone genius out there can definitely make this thing a little bit smaller, I'm sure. Put a hopper clock instead of this abomination. It's just the timings really. It has to be timed properly so that it can actually reliably craft the fireworks every single time. But other than that, this thing is really awesome. It works great. I would say probably a 98, 99% probability of success for crafting a firework. And then any sort of jamming issues can easily be fixed just by going back here and clearing the crafter out. Hasn't been an issue yet, though. So, yeah, that's the prototype for the automatic random firework generator. Thank you for watching.